Hi everyone, I am so excited today to be joined by Rouzana, who is one of our keynotes for the International DLD Research Conference 2023. Welcome Rouzana, how are you?
I'm doing well, thank you for having me and thank you for this amazing opportunity to be a keynote speaker at the conference.
We are so excited. I love the work that you're doing in the implementation science space. So I don't want to jump ahead because I know you've got so much to tell us, but what will delegates learn from you through your keynote?
Yes, so my keynote will focus on how we can use implementation science to bridge the gap between research and practice. We cannot deny that there is a gap between what we know from research and what we do in practice, and this is also true for DLD. One simple example is the lack of public awareness about DLD and what that means for accessing timely and evidence-based services. So implementation science helps us understand why a program is not being used in routine settings as it should, and that could be a school or a clinical setting, and how we can promote its use to achieve inclusive, equitable, and quality services. I will share lessons from my own work, from early identification, intervention, implementation science, and the work of others. Lessons such as how we can think about implementation much earlier, even if we're still trying to establish whether a program works or not, how we can engage better those who will be using a program, children and adults with DLD, their families, the practitioners who support them, and how we can create the conditions in our setting to achieve better service delivery.
Amazing. And as many clinicians and educators listening in would love to be thinking about, well, you know, what does this look like in our practice and how do we make this as successful? Right. Because we do want to support our people with DLD that we're working with to the best of our abilities. Super excited to hear more about your keynote. But I guess I'm a little bit curious as to what you're looking forward to seeing at this year's International DLD Research Conference.
Yeah, I think as always, I look forward to good discussions, lots of learning and reflection, which I hope eventually leads to changes in how we conduct research and how we provide education and clinical services to people with DLD. We are very lucky to have a lot of knowledge available from fields like implementation science that we can leverage today to change the way we do research and the way we do practice and create systems that are aligning with the needs and the expectations of people with DLD, and most importantly, to do all that with people with DLD and not for. What I mean by that is maybe moving away from top-down approaches and embracing approaches that are more inclusive and that emphasize community engagement and that value the knowledge and expertise and lived experiences that people with DLD bring to the table.
100%. My final question for you is, why do you think that the International DLD Research Conference is important? Like, why should we have this event?
Well, I may be a little bit biased because it's my favorite conference, but
I'm glad to hear that.
I think it's such a unique space for people with different backgrounds to come together, researchers, practitioners, people with DLD, their families, advocates. And this perfectly aligns with the mission of implementation science, which is to create communities around a specific issue and foster dialogue and collaboration. So I thank you and Nat and the DLD project for creating such a community for us to come together every year and beyond that and learn together and collaborate and hopefully achieve the change that people with DLD deserve.
I am so excited to get together again. I love getting together online and hearing some amazing conversations, but also months after the conference, hearing about people that have connected through the conference, right, and then are discussing and talking about DLD more and more. And of course, the DLD Research Conference funds the DLD Research Grant every year. So it's really important for people to get behind the conference and attend. We try and keep the cost as low as possible, but also it enables us to give that funds back to the research community to keep on funding the amazing work that people like you do. So thank you so much for joining me today. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it, as well as our amazing lineup of other keynotes.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to it and connecting with people that I've not met before and talk about things that I'm passionate about. So thank you for having me.
No worries. I hope everybody will join us from the 11th to the 13th of September for International DLD Research Conference 2023.